Alrighty, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our monthly Medisoft user group. So let's get started. So as always, we do have Robert. I believe he may be joining us for a little bit today, but I'm Kimberly Cusack. I'm one of the product specialists with MicroWise. So we are going to get started. Okay, so we do have just a quick disclaimer. MicroWise can't be held responsible for any of the information you learned today. We do request that you verify the accuracy of everything being presented, and that MicroWise cannot be held liable for any loss of revenue or any legal issues. So our agenda for today is going to be financial management, collection services, e-statements, patient text message alerts, and then a quick Q&A at the end if anybody has any questions. And we do have Tony Peterson here, who is a Director of Sales at NextTrust. So he is going to be giving our presentation today. Tony, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Kimberly. It's good to be here.
Absolutely fantastic. Tony, if you'd like to introduce yourself a little and share your screen. Let me stop mine so you can hop on there. All right, the floor is yours, Tony.
Very good. Thank you so much, Kimberly. Like I said, I appreciate the opportunity to be here. My name is Tony Peterson. I'm the Vice President of Business Development and Customer Success at NextTrust. Billflash is the product that our company sells. I have been in the industry for a good 24 years now. I have spent a lot of time working with MicroWise. I've known them for almost all of those 24 years, and they're a great partner. You could not be in better hands for your business and for your practices than you are with MicroWise. They offer outstanding products and services, and you've really made a wise choice there. I've spent a lot of time working with Medisoft in particular. I know that that's the topic of today's discussion. I was the product manager for Medisoft for 7 years. I've done technical support for Medisoft, so I've spent a large amount of time working with the software that you use on a day-to-day basis. Today, I'm going to be talking about recession readiness and tools that you can utilize to protect your practice's revenue as we go into uncertain economic times. So if we take a look at the world of medical offices right now, there's a big dilemma that has occurred over the last 15 years with patient payments. If you went back a good 15, 20 years when I started, patient's responsibility for each appointment represented about 10% of every visit. So if there was $100 that would be expected to be collected on each visit, 90 of those would come from the insurance carrier, and 10 of those dollars would come from the patient. Over the last 20 years, that has shifted significantly to the point where now patient obligation is more than 50% of each healthcare dollar. If that same $100 were to happen today, it would be closer to $60 of the visit would be paid for by the patient, and $40 would be paid by the insurance carrier. Research shows that as the patient financial responsibility rises, the likelihood that you're able to collect those patient payments in a timely manner significantly decreases. That makes it essential that your practice adopts efficient billing and payment processes and changes how you interact with your patients. This is especially true during times of economic hardship, such as a recession, like we're looking at right now. American families continue to feel the financial implications of a recovering economy and the significant rise of inflation, which has created additional demands on their already stretched budgets. Medical practices are also feeling that crunch. In a recent survey conducted by Fierce Healthcare in this year, 90% of respondents indicated that their practices are experiencing a labor shortage, causing them to be behind on 2022 revenue goals. With the pending recession looming, finding a partner that offers solutions not only for the practice, but also that maximize the patient experience is crucial to the financial success and health of your business. Today, we're going to talk about how NextTrust's Billflash platform integrates with Medisoft to offer end-to-end billing, payment, and collection services. These will help you get paid at a faster rate at a lower total cost than you would have today. We are going to talk about how to increase payer satisfaction by offering popular features such as stored pay, auto pay, and plan pay. Those things are going to make it easier for your patients to pay you 24/7. This will also allow you to reduce the number of vendor contracts, fee schedules, and interfaces that you're using on a daily basis, which will increase the simplicity of doing business in your practices. We also want to talk about how to automate your billing, payment, and collection process, allowing you to save time and money, which will also increase your cash flow, which will safeguard your practice during an economic recession. So if we look at Billflash, we really view ourselves as your end-to-end financial solution focused on the patient side of the equation. Clearinghouses very often come and they have solutions that allow you to have visibility for billing insurance carriers, but they're not always as good at going after the patient side of the equation. In a world where patients owe more than 50% of each visit, it's critical that you find a workflow and a process and a partner that was focused on that patient side of the equation in order for you to get that revenue. Within Billflash, we are your one-stop shop for increasing the efficiency of the patient payment experience. We integrate with many different applications, and Medisoft is one of our most tightly integrated solutions. Billflash allows you to consolidate your workflow into a single, easy-to-use platform used to manage your billing, payment, and collection processes. All of these services work seamlessly together to streamline processes into a single application with unified reporting and a single support phone number. Talk about the different things that our services can do for you. Print and mail billing. The average cost to send a mailed statement in-house when you print it out yourself is around $2.53. With the postage rate of 60 cents, an average cost of print and mail supplies of 30 cents, labor of about $1.63, calculated based on $10 an hour, which you're probably paying more in today's economy, plus 25% benefits and time spent. With Billflash's professional printed and mailed statements, we can save you more than 65% off of just doing it yourself in office. That $2.53 per statement number is significantly higher than the price that you'll pay when you send those statements through Billflash and the integrated interface with Medisoft. Print and mail statements are still the most reliable way to deliver the legal notice of financial liability because of the high success rate of the USPS delivery system. We also offer customizable templates which will allow you to easily add and edit messages to the statements that are there, specify the different forms of payments that you accept, including the credit cards that you accept, and change the color of the statement to make it more imposing or easy to read. You can see up there on the screen, there's 3 different colors that are listed, blue, green, and red. You can change those up based on how old the statements are, how old the AR is. Send a red statement and it is viewed as a little more urgent and final, like the red markings on your homework or tests when you were in school. We offer a very easy to review, edit, and approve interface where only approved bills are sent. Many of you using a process where you print out your own statements will print out a stack of statements out of Medisoft, and then you'll thumb through them and find statements that you don't like. You pull those out, put them to the side. You might write on them to try to clarify things for your patients to ensure that they pay. With the Billflash interface, you can easily do all of those things that you do with the paper statements just as easy and actually faster than you do printing those out yourself. During that review, you can delete, add and edit messages, and change the color. All of the approved statements or bills that you send to us are mailed first class USPS the very next business day. We also offer automatic address updating, utilizing the USPS National Change of Address Service, or NCOA. Bills are automatically mailed to the address or to the new address of anybody that has moved and has that on file. And you will actually get a report of those changed addresses that allow you to update your system. This results in fewer returned bills to you that you have to pay to resend. And if a bill gets returned to you, it's far less likely that the patient is actually going to pay it. This print and mail service also includes coupons and envelopes that go into each and every statement that goes out. Those helpful payment coupons and return envelopes, when used, reduce your processing costs and troubles. Each of these statements, when you are utilizing Billflash combined with our Billflash Pay services, will encourage your patients to view and pay their bills online or via their mobile phone, which will increase the likelihood that they pay and the speed that they pay. Your staff will be able to view the same bill that your patients receive so that you can easily understand and answer questions. This is integrated into Medisoft into most of the patient-facing screens like transaction entry, claim management, within office hours on the appointments. There's a button that you push and it'll bring up and show you the last statement that was sent to the patient that is open on the screen. So if the patient calls your staff and they have a question about their bill, you have the ability to see the bill that they are holding in their hand right there on the screen. Makes it a lot easier to answer questions, especially when insurances are coming and making payments and the balances might have changed from the time that the patient has received their statement until the current time. We also give you easy to read reports that will give you all of the processing detail and the change of address records that we've spoken about up until this point. When you send those statements using the integrated Billflash interface with Medisoft, one of the great features is that you can send paper statements and electronic statement notifications by sending the exact same statement file. So imagine sending your statement to your printer, and at the same time it's sent to the printer, it sends a text and it sends an email to those patients requesting that they're going to pay their bill and allowing them to do so from those devices where they receive their texts or email. That's going to make it far more easy and likely that those patients are going to pay. The sooner that your patients receive their bills, the sooner you get paid. When utilizing the Billflash e-bills and e-bill notices, a free online e-bill is created with each approved bill and available to view and pay the exact same day in our self-pay patient portal, myproviderlink.com. These customizable e-bill notices allow you to send same-day notifications via text and email, like we discussed. E-billing eases the payment experience for both patients and practices by giving patients their preferred e-bill notices via email and or text where they can view and pay them in a few clicks. E-bills generate online payments that eliminate the costs and hassles for your staff to handle payments in the office. And our bundled offering allows you to send e-bill notices via email and or text for the exact same price. You get additional discounts when you send these things with mailed bills. These will accelerate your payments by pairing the convenience of e-bill notices along with the reliability of mailed bills. Adding e-bills and e-bill notices has been shown to decrease the average days to payment for patients from 20 to 9. That is more than twice as fast that patients pay those electronic bill notifications to the statements that go out on paper alone. Getting paid faster means the cash flow for your business and your practice is going to be a lot more healthy. So why would Billflash billing be better with pay services active? There are a lot of practices that I've come across over the years that view the purpose of sending statements as a task to just be done. They look at it every month and say, I've got to get statements out. And then they go through the whole rigmarole of sending those statements, printing them out, stuffing the envelopes, putting the stamps and labels on it and getting it out into the mail. And when they're done, they're happy. And they say, oh, I'm finally done sending my statements. But that's not the reason that you send statements. The purpose of sending statements is to get paid. When you give patients a notice that says this is what you need to pay, along with the ability to pay it right then and there, patients are more likely to pay. Not only are they more likely to pay that, they're more likely to pay earlier. If you don't give them the ability to pay right then and there when they have the statement, they're most likely going to pay you the next time they're waiting in your office and waiting for another appointment. This is going to provide you better visibility to the AR status and trends if you integrate the pay services with the billing services or the billing options that are available through Billflash. Let's take a look at how it works with the text-based e-bill notices. On the screen here, I've got a couple of different screenshots of phones that show you exactly how these text-based notifications work. When these things go out and you have e-bill notices and pay services, you need to have both of those services for it to work this way. You'll have reduced office calls, a simpler payment process, which results in faster payments. The far left screenshot here of the phone shows you the text message that your patients would receive when you sign up for the Billflash e-bill notices via text. That text will show up on their phone, and it'll have a link that will take them to myproviderlink.com, where they'll be able to see, view, and pay the statement that you had just sent. We give them the option to sign up or sign in, where they'll see the details of each statement and be able to read them and understand what they owe. Or they can use this guest pay button that doesn't require them to log in. They won't be able to see the specifics of each line item in that circumstance for HIPAA reasons. They have to log in order to be able to show PHI. So the guest pay option is really good for people who know that they owe the bill. They're going to pay the bill. They hit that. They don't have to even think about a username and password. They make that payment right there on their phone, and they receive the receipt immediately there on their phone, where they can save the copy of it or print it out. Your staff doesn't have to do anything. Those payments then go right into your bank account, and using the integration with Medisoft, those payments are going to feed right back into the deposit list, where all you have to do is apply them to the charges that they're for. So it's really a much simpler process for patients to pay using the text-based billing with the pay services, which will make it far more likely that they actually make those payments. Billflash offers a complete suite of payment solutions that make it easier for patients to pay 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We offer modern EMV terminals for in-office payments and all of your in-office transactions. And we allow you to take payments over the phone. We support popular payment methods such as Apple Pay and Google Pay. We have a great new feature for those cards that are stored on file called Card Account Updater, where if somebody stores a payment method or a credit card on file, or they sign up for auto pay and their credit card expires, our system will communicate with the credit card issuer and get an update to that card without you having to go find and track down the patient. You don't have to deal with rejected payments because of an expired card when this is in place. So it makes it easier for you to collect, which means that it's more likely that you're going to be able to do so. We offer self-pay options through myproviderlink.com, like we said earlier, that allows the patients to sign in and view and pay those bills. And we offer many different features. Stored pay, auto pay, plan pay, and link pay all come with Billflash pay services. Now, what do those mean? Stored pay means that the patient can store their credit card on file, and you don't have to worry about the PCI compliance of it, because what is stored on file is an encrypted key that is only valid for that payer or that patient when used with your business or your account. So there's not an actual card that is stored that's done for PHI or for PCI compliance reasons. It makes it very easy and simple and secure. Autopay is one of the greatest features that exists within Billflash. If you can work with your patients to get them to sign up for autopay, what that will do is when you send out your statements to your patients, any patient who has signed up for autopay, instead of getting a statement, you're going to automatically process their payment using a card that is stored on file, and you're going to send them a receipt instead of a statement. If you can get 30% of your patients to sign up for auto pay, that means that every month when you send your statements out, 30% of them are going to be paid immediately, requiring no follow-up from your staff. That allows your staff to follow up on the patients who don't sign up for auto pay. So if you're worried that 98-year-old Gladys is not going to sign up for something like auto pay, you're probably right. She's not going to. But if you can get 30% of your patients to actually sign up for that, it's going to decrease the amount of work that your staff has to do. And it's going to very easily allow you to focus on the areas where you're going to have the most impact. Patients and providers have the ability to agree on a ceiling for how much is allowed to be charged through an auto pay. I know that there's patients who might be concerned about giving someone carte blanche to charge their card for expensive medical bills. If you utilize Billflash Auto Pay, you can say, I'm going to authorize automatic payments up to $100 or up to $200. This is up to you and your patients to work out, and you would want to sign them up for that as they come through and check into your practice. Plan Pay is an automated payment plan where the card is going to be stored, the bill or obligation is going to be broken out into regular payments, and you don't even have to remember to go charge them. Based on signing up for that Plan Pay, if you have a $500 balance, sign up for Plan Pay for 5 months. Each month, they're going to be automatically charged $100, and those payments are going to feed right back into Medisoft. And then Link Pay is a very easy to utilize online payment option that you can use for pre-visit payments before a statement is even generated. New in 2022, we have another option that will allow you to take advantage of all of these different features that we have within Billflash. But if you're not able to change your existing merchant account provider, we can still offer all of those different features that we just talked about. We have a new platform called Gateway Only. This model allows us to work with any customer, regardless of whether they want to use our provided merchant accounts or keep using their own. This allows practices and businesses to take advantage of all of these pay features within Billflash without leaving your merchant service provider. Provides access to auto pay, plan pay, stored pay, link pay, everything that we talked about before. And this will work with most processing partners. There's two in particular. If you're wondering that we want to call out that don't work, that would be Square and Stripe. But if you're using a merchant service provider or a merchant account provider that is not Square and not Stripe, we can set you up utilizing your existing provider. Let's talk about collections. Nearly 20% of all Americans who receive healthcare get sent to collections due to outstanding bills. According to the MGMA, 23.2% of the healthcare organization's revenue is accounted for by collections from patients. Think about what that means, though. If 60% of each bill is responsible by the patient, only 23% of the revenue is coming from patients. That means there's a problem getting the money from patients. Even at 23.2%, that's a quarter of your total annual revenue. To make matters more challenging, 40% of all patients will appeal or fight their healthcare bill and succeed. And as a result, about 2/5 of customers end up receiving a refund for their delinquent bills. Now, I think that coming out of the pandemic, we can all appreciate that different individuals and families have hardships, especially when it comes to debt that's incurred out of necessity, such as a healthcare visit. As much as we empathize with these people, at the end of the day, our organizations still depend on these revenues. Healthcare providers such as yourself need to get paid for the services that you provide, and that shouldn't come as a surprise. If you don't stay in business, you won't be able to provide the services for your patients. But collecting on past due AR, which there's a lot of, is very time consuming. And without trained professionals, it can be very ineffective and a huge headache for practices. In fact, we surveyed our 30,000 plus providers to find out what their biggest pain points were. And 65% of those responded and said they needed help with collections. So that help is here. With our new integrated collection service from NextTrust, you can experience a first in the industry convenient submissions from customers with controlled rules that generate recommendations for collection services. Now, what does that really mean? That's a lot of big words and buzzwords that are there. What it means is you can send your statements from Medisoft up to Billflash and set rules that say, I want every statement that is 90 days or older to automatically be sent over to our integrated collection service. You can review the recommendation that is there to say, yep, it's 90 days overdue. Yeah, send it. Or no, don't send it. You can pull them right out. You have the ability to review and approve which of those accounts are going. This provides you a unified workflow for sending collections and statements at the same time. Most of the time when you're trying to send to a collection agency, you're dealing with having to go get reports out of Medisoft and find those reports, narrow them down, cross stuff out, generate them again, send it over via fax or SFTP to a collection agency. It's not a very easy thing to do. But using the Billflash Integrated Collection Service, all you need to do is send your statements up and then approve the ones that are automatically recommended for you to go to collections. Additionally, the next trust for Billflash Integrated Collection Service, we will be as aggressive or soft as you want us to be. We have customizable settings where we can say we want to be very soft in our conversations with the customers. We're not going to send and report them to the credit bureaus. Or we can send in the big guns and report them to the credit agency. You have full control over how hard you want the collection service to go after the outstanding debts that are there. This allows you to focus on collecting for more recent visits, while the Next Trust Integrated Collection Service collects on older patient balances. Again, this frees up time for your staff to focus on the calls that are most likely to be successful for them, while taking the harder, more tedious calls and letting them be handled by our integrated collection service. All of the recovered payments that come through this service are received directly into your merchant account through Billflash Pay Services. This is a first in the industry. We are paying you immediately when our collection efforts are successful, rather than aggregating all of the payments and sending them back to you at the end of the month minus our fee. As soon as the patient pays, it goes into your bank account, and at the end of the month, you'll receive an invoice for the work that was successful. Our recovery specialists are certified in all 50 states. We will do the difficult work so that you can focus on patient care. We've got a couple of other great things that are coming up that we expect by the end of the year that can enhance your experience as well. These will automate and enhance the delivery of multiple requests for payments over multiple dates. This is enhanced billing. This new service will enable you to include inserts that can automatically be added to each first statement to drive up payments. You think of a buck slip that motivates timely payments with visually compelling messaging that is beyond the scope of what fits on the statement. Next, during the 30-day billing cycle, email and text reminders will be sent according to the rules that you set. If you want the first statement to go out the day that you send them, and 2 days later you want a text, and 4 days later you want an email, you can set that up and automate that so that all of those different communication types are utilized and scheduled at the time you upload those statements. Essentially, enhanced billing is the modern version that supplements and follows the first statements and replaces old pre-collection letters. We're also working on integration with PayPal and Venmo that will offer the first integration of digital wallets into the Billflash platform. This will allow your patients to pay you with either PayPal or Venmo accounts. Crypto payments will be possible using those platforms as well. We'll use familiar technology to the patients to facilitate those payments. If you're using technology that the patients understand and use in their day-to-day lives, like Venmo or PayPal, they're going to be more likely to utilize those things and pay you when the bill comes due. This will also offer lightning fast, in most cases, same day enrollment, so you can start taking those payments immediately. So these are some of the things that you can do to recession-proof your business. It is absolutely critical that you focus on collecting as much from your patients as possible during this time. If the patients owe 60% of each of the visits that are there, and you're not focused on actually getting that money from them, you're only getting 40% of the revenue that you should from each and every visit that comes through. Your business is not likely to succeed with only 40% of the available revenue coming in. You need to get as much of that as possible. And utilizing the services that we've talked about today will allow you to do so. The next slide that I have is going to open it up for question and answer. We can do that, but first I just want to skip to the last slide real quick. If there's anything that we saw today that you're interested in or that you think might be able to help you, it's very easy for you to schedule a demo where our reps can take and show you exactly how it's going to work with your system. You can schedule that demo at billflash.com/microwise. There's a calendar there. You just choose the time that works for you, get that scheduled, and you'll be able to have someone speak with you as soon as possible. So with that said, Kimberly, I think we can open it up for any questions that there might be.
Yes, absolutely. If there's anybody on the line that has any questions, you can feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead and ask away. All right, it doesn't look like we have any questions. Well, as always, there will be a recording of this up on the website. So if you wanted to go back and take a look later on, it will be there. And you can always feel free to get in contact with us here at Microwise, and we can always direct you in the right place to be able to speak with somebody on Tony's team as well. But if there's no questions, everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Tony, for coming on and speaking with everybody. And have a great day.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.